Something that you thought was constructive and good.
I've been able to strengthen my vision for what the ultimate goal is. Learned how to speak to people that do not understand my struggle.
I basically told my friend how I have experienced our friendship as a colored woman. I'm closer to knowing what I want to communicate through my art.
I have now lost really good friends who I thought were there for me. In the same sense of being disappointed, I feel like I've just found myself more solidly, like where I am and what I do stand for.
We have to go through this gunk of like being courageous enough to say how you feel, even though you know that's messed up.
Don't you know that you're a fact? 'Cause I'm a fact, and we're a fact, and that's a fact.
So the last question is, how have you felt the energy of this social movement flow through you into your art?
Definitely with the extent of anger that I was feeling and confusion, I spent a lot of time thinking. I usually, when I get into a situation where I'm so angry, it actually paralyzes me to think so much about it, to start writing down about it. In so doing, I have, written a few words that usually manifest into songs. But before this all happened, I must say that I was feeling very much quite, sidelined as a woman of color, as if we are accessories rather than the main meat of this world. Part of me that I really emphasize in my mind about my identity is my hair, how I've been taught to straighten it and make it something that it's not all this time, because if I did turn up with it, then someone would be calling me animal names, something that doesn't, honor me as a human. Even before this whole Black Lives Matter movement re-emerged, let's bear in mind that it has been around for a while. I actually wrote a song about my hair and every other little girl's natural hair. And it was basically a fuck you to society. I can do whatever I want with my hair. It is malleable in the most beautiful way possible. From so many angles of my life, there are people telling me what to do about my hair, that it was literally squeezing out this expression from me. So much so that I put it on paper and I put it onto the piano and I absorbed it into my voice. And turned it into what I think is a bomb-ass song. So yeah, that is how I've expressed myself.
When the entire movement re-emerged, I was not afraid to say exactly how I felt and to put it like right in there. I was balls deep into this movement. I was so engulfed in this entire movement. I literally felt like I was a crazy woman. Like there was incense in the corner and Fela Kuti was playing and I was just dancing all crazy. And every white person that wants to fight with me, I'm just I've got to take this down. Because I was so also angry of the fact that why is this still happening? Why is it happening to me? Why is it happening to my brothers and sisters? Why is this still happening? Through that, I became so lost because I was just so blinded by my anger, but also my ego. Of course, I can't just point out the fact that other people are being racist, other people are being prejudiced, they are doing this, they're being sexist, they're being homophobic. Those are things that I have also done in my life before, and that all encompasses in racism and why we are taught to hate ourselves. I felt that I kind of had a better connection with my instrument because this was the one thing that I could go to that never asked me, where do you come from? Why does your hair look like that? Why do you not play this certain way? Whatever I put on to that instrument, it speaks and it does. Then again, I also felt like the lens through which I approached my instrument before this matter was through a perceived lens, in a way that I thought this was how I was supposed to sound This is how I was supposed to prepare and be. Because I study classical music and this is what I do. But if I am studying Western art music, the first thing you think is not, the native music of Nigeria. It's Western art music, so we can all just think a little bit further. I never really knew where to place myself within that sphere, because where do I, as a colored woman from Kraaifontein in Cape Town, where do I fit into Western art music? I just realized that whatever I have to contribute, there's no place that's going to be nicely put aside for me and be like, come, this is yours, you can have this. It's literally just that we have billions of people and we are so diverse, not only in South Africa, we have such unique ways of expressing art. And I just realized that even if I am some sort of fucked up mix of Milo and some very great Kenyan coffee while speaking German at a Portuguese chip shop, that's me. I need to appreciate that. I cannot be angry at other people for angering me and for hurting me when I continuously do that to myself. So I can't do the work of my oppressors. I can't do the work of my abusers. I need to be loving myself. I've really grown a lot closer to my art and I'm happy with what I'm doing. Because as long as I'm happy, then everybody else basically fuck you.
Seeing this movement happen and seeing it being so strong, for me personally, before this entire movement happened, I did have quite a big struggle with figuring out, because I live through my brand, I had quite a big struggle to just figuring out, okay, but this is really what I stand for as a person. I live and breathe my brand. I literally live and breathe fashion. It's still a career, even though it is all of me. I still felt like with the way that people have treated me in my life, with the comments that people have said to me, with my skin color, they're like, oh, you must be some exotic person from Brazil, or making comments about my hair, the same, saying, oh, but you're gonna be so beautiful if your hair is straight, feeling okay, but who am I really? If I was born this way, and people are telling me, but you will be beautiful or you will be great if you look that way, then it's okay, I kind of do feel very lost as a person with that, with working on my brand. I'm just okay, but who am I really? What is my brand really about? And I feel what this movement has kind of helped me to gather is just really this is me, this is who I am. I have big curly hair. Yes, I'm a mixed color girl. I'm from Cape Town. I'm not some kind of exotic animal creature thing that you see when you look at me. No, I'm this girl. I'm very strong. I'm confident in what I do. What matters at the end of the day is that you know your worth and you know what you're all about. And I feel through this whole movement, I've really, really learned how to set that foundation for myself and for my brand as well. I've been working on that for a couple of weeks now, and you learn as you go. You do make mistakes. It's just really finding myself and finding what my brand stands for, and not just following the trends, being okay, but this is kind of what's popular, so I'm gonna follow that. It's not really, really authentic to your true self, and that is essentially what I want at the end of the day. I want to be my authentic self, and I want that to reflect on my brand. So yeah.
Black Lives Matter, and that's a fact.